Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask unanimous consent to address the House and revise and extend my remarks.
Gentlewoman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I want you to imagine for a moment that you're going to the grocery store, grabbing coffee, or picking your child up from school. But instead of running errands or waiting for the school bell like usual, you are surrounded by masked men who scream at you, shove you to the ground, threaten you with their weapons, and throw you into the back of their car. People are calling out for help, asking where you're being taken, but they refuse to answer. You have no idea where you're going, who these people are, or when or if you will ever see your family again. Imagine if you, or worse, your child, experienced the terror, the fear, and the blind pain of being kidnapped off of the street. For many of my constituents, this is the horrific reality that they are dealing with every single day. ICE is terrorizing our communities. They are kidnapping people off of the streets, tearing families apart, and destroying futures to meet insane daily quotas enacted by Donald Trump. Just a few weeks ago, Republicans in Congress passed a massive budget that is funneling billions of new dollars to ICE. This money makes ICE the largest domestic police force in the United States, with more resources than dozens of militaries around the entire world. This funding is unprecedented, and it's a free pass for ICE to ramp up Trump's cruel and inhumane mass deportation policies. They are already building concentration camps in Florida, where they are threatening to lock up legal immigrants and Latinos from across the country. I have visited facilities like this. On May 29th, I went to the Eloy Detention Center just outside my district. I met with women who wanted to and frankly were desperate to share their stories with me. One was a green card holder who had been pulled over for a traffic stop. When they learned of her status, they stripped her of her green card and threw her into ICE detention without another thought. She had been trying to reach her family for months. Another woman told me a story about a guard taking all of the women out into the blazing Arizona heat. He forced them to march in circles for hours without water. One woman fainted and needed medical attention. While they marched, the guard yelled at them, quote, "This is the price of the American dream." It should not matter who these women are. It should not matter whether they are citizens, legal residents, or undocumented people trying to make a life for themselves. It is shameful and embarrassing for our country that we would treat any human being like this. The detention centers and the facilities in this country are atrocious. They have absolutely zero oversight mechanisms in place. More than a month later, after formally inquiring about the conditions that I saw firsthand to the Department of Homeland Security and ICE, I have yet to receive a response. People are being harassed, they are being dehumanized, they are being abused. Last weekend, I tried to return to Eloy to meet with several constituents of mine who are detained there, like a woman named Yari who has chronic lymphocytic leukemia. She has been detained at Eloy since February and has lost 55 pounds while in detention. She needs help. A man who has been coughing up blood for weeks. A 35-year-old woman with a kidney infection who says her antibiotics are not working and her conditions are worsening. Even after ICE put in place new protocols to make it more difficult for us to do our jobs and our oversight work, we tried to follow their new rules. I gave them ample notice of my visit and a list of constituents that I hope to meet with. They let us know that our visit was approved. But then, less than 24 hours before I was supposed to make the trip, they changed their minds and said that my meetings with my constituents were denied. ICE is leaving families without answers and human beings without care. And they are doing it regardless of whether people are undocumented, legal residents, or even American citizens. They are splitting up parents by sending them to different detention facilities and then making children have to navigate the funds for a lawyer and basic survival. If I cannot get answers as a U.S. Congresswoman, how is anyone else in my district supposed to? Any one of us could be next. To our immigrant communities, I will always stand with you and fight for you, and will do everything I can to push back against Trump's authoritarian overreach. I yield back.